Cheers. What is going on, guys? My name is Wiz, and this is North Star Collectibles. Right now, I'm about to go to the gym. Found this to be a good opportunity to bring out today's video, and it is the last 3 months. We're in April, so the last 4 months of being introduced into the TCG space. To be honest with you guys, I mean, it's been a good experience so far because this has been something that I'm generally just doing in phases. And I think that you have to understand when you're going into something new, there's going to be so many things that you can learn from, and there's so much information on there about the topic, and you have to choose and intentionally do something with the information that you allow yourself to intake. When it comes to TCG, is no different. It all comes down to, for one, some of you might be just looking for Pokemon. Some of you might just be looking for One Piece. Some of you might be just looking for Dragon Ball Z. Some of you might just be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of you might be in Gundam. Some of you might be in Cyberpunk, or want to be in Cyberpunk now that it's going to come out. It doesn't matter what TCG space you're in, because these things, for the most part, come down to being true within every space. So I wanted to share with you my experience in the first 3 to 4 months, because I feel that this is going to be 4 videos that I will make on this topic, because I'm going to give you an update within the first quarter of the year, the second, third, and last quarter. This is a whole year kind of process. Currently, this year, I intentionally wanted this year to be a collection period for me. So I'm building my collection as I'm going. And this video also, if you just want to see the collection aspect of the video, go into this timestamp and you can just go ahead and see what I have so far and what I've been able to collect, because so far I think I'm very proud of it, because I got some of these things very undervalued when I got them, and I still were able to make some moves, and that's, for me, obviously there's some wins and losses, but if I can get a little bit more wins than losses, I'm happy with it. And understand that this is unrealized gains. So until I sell these, I will not make my money back. So that's how you have to come into this into any new space where it has to do with money, because if you're trying to make money and flip it, you're going to, I personally think and feel that if you're here as a flipper, you're going to get very uninterested very quickly. If you're here as a collector, you might also just stay so true to yourself that you might actually lose opportunity on letting go of some things that might not get that high at any point in the future, and you're gonna be the person holding the bag. So for me, you have to be a hybrid. You have to understand that maybe sometimes, even as much as you might like it, right? If it makes sense for you to let go of that card for you to collect other things, why not do it? More so in an economy or in a market that is very much giving you money. Not giving you money personally, but if you go to these vending shows, you can actually release some of the things that you have. It's just a matter of you intentionally going to certain vendors that might give you what you want or trade for something different. So it's on you to actually make those moves and not be so caught to your own ways. So today's video, I wanted to share, before I share my collection, I wanted to share the things, and it's going to be 3 quick things that I've learned, because I think it's very important for anyone that is new to this game of TCG or collecting. The first thing, and I'm I feel very strong about this, because I think that this is how people kind of get burned easily. Do not fall for headlines. And what I mean by that, do not just follow an influencer, and just because they say something or just because they're sharing something with you, you're going to solely follow that advice without doing your research or without doing your due diligence. I think that a lot of people get caught in this type of wave where they don't want to do the research, so they allow someone else to do it for them, thinking that they're doing the correct research. and they're getting burned because they're following someone's advice like a gospel. I've never been that type of person. And I think that that's kind of our society. One of our society's flaws, that there's a lot of NPC out there. And for anyone that still does not know what an NPC is, it means non-playable character syndrome. To me, you have to make your choices, bro. Like, if you're a girl, make your choices. If you're a dude, make your choices. If you see someone as an expert in the field that you're going into, listen to the advice they have, but also see if those advices match your belief. And if they do, perfect. If they don't, see what they don't, because you might be wrong too. So if you're incorrect, then okay, man, it makes sense to do whatever someone else is advising you to do it. Because it doesn't always mean that if someone's giving an advice, it's going to be a wrong advice. But it also doesn't mean that if they're giving you an advice, it's going to be the best advice for you. So keep that in mind. Always be open-minded to that, because I think that a lot of people follow people's rules or people's own experiences without understanding that that is solely to them and their experience in life. And you need to stop to see if that works out for you and what your goals are. So for me, like I stated at the beginning of the video, my goal is to collect. And in the process of collecting within this year, if I have cards that I really don't care for, I will try to sell them or make some money back from those cards. This more than likely is not going to be a year for me where I'm going to be making a whole lot of profit, because I'm not trying to do that. That's not the intention of this year. The intention is to build a collection. Once I build the collection, once I start doing things, once I feel that I'm comfortable enough, and I'm talking about comfortable enough to at least have $10,000 in inventory, then I can start thinking about pushing these things out and kind of bringing some new things in and doing things like that. At this very moment in time, my collector app is about $6,000. How much I really spend on this hobby, and I'm talking about 4 hobbies combined, maybe about $2,900. It's a lot of money, but I truly believe that $2,900 to about $6,000, it's not bad at all. And that's not including the entire binder that I have of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I went ahead and literally just priced out myself. That comes out to be about $2,000 in value. Not most of those things are not in my collector app. So to me, I've been able to build this collection within the last 4 months, and I'm going to continue to do that until the end of the year. So that's the first tip. Second tip, buy things that you really enjoy, regardless of what anyone says, regardless of what the price is. Obviously, if the price is too high and you can't afford it, do not get like so obsessed with trying to get this product if it is out of your range. Try to get something else similar to it. Because I'm pretty sure just because a Shining Gyarados, which for me, Shining Gyarados is my favorite card, I have very nostalgic connection to this card. Why? Because I actually was able to pull this card when I was in 4th grade. My binder that I took to school, I went to Reese's one day, came back, my binder was gone. So it was stolen. Which at that moment in time, I didn't even think about telling my teacher that my binder was stolen, because we were not supposed to have cards in the classroom or at school at all. Because I remember at that point in time, Pokemon was very hot. And a lot of kids were taking Pokemon cards, and we were getting distracted, and we were just talking about the Pokemon stuff. Outside of lunch and outside of recess, we would take into the class, and we couldn't stop talking about it. So to me, I'm not even trying to get a PSA 2 or 3, no, or a raw. It's too much for me on one single card. So for me, I wouldn't do that. Does that mean that I don't like other Gyarados cards? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that it means that I'm gonna look into what Gyarados cards are out there and see what's in my budget, and see if this makes sense for me to take in or invest in or buy or add to the collection. So understand that if you don't like something and you're just buying it just because it's a hot cart right now, you're going to be the person that is going to lose money on that, and you're just going to be losing money repeating that cycle. So understand that if you like something, go for what you like first. Look at what's available, look at what's within your range, and buy it. Do not second guess yourself. Do not think just because the market is not hot right now about it that, yeah, whatever. For me right now, that, and I'm gonna share this because this is a strategy right now. I'm trying to collect or trying to get, for example, I'm an artist, right? Outside of me doing Pokemon stuff, I'm an artist. I wasn't aware that there was an artist Pokemon out there. So if you're into Pokemon, you know what I'm talking about, or what Pokemon I'm talking about, which is Smeargle. Smeargle cards are very, very undervalued. But when I look at the actual design of the card and the cool cards that he has, it was perfect for me. So Smeargle, I'm starting to collect Smeargle. I haven't gotten one because I'm literally just looking on what's out there, looking at the prices. So I do that for about a week or two, and then I make a choice. But what made me discover Smeargle was the aspect of me firstly trying to look for the cards that were inspired by real art. Everybody talks about the Van Gogh Pikachu. Everybody talks about the screaming Psyduck, the screaming Pikachu, all these different screaming cards that are actually influenced by real art. So for me, I was trying to see if there's other influence on Pokemon cards that are art influence, real art influence by real painters and all of this. And there are. So for me, what am I going to do? Being in my position, I'm going to try to get PSA 9 or PSA 10 of these cards, Japanese, English, at least have one or two in my collection. Raw, graded, because it's my interest, you know? So for you, it's the same. It's kind of like the same thing I would tell you. Look at things, and this is like a combination and a hybrid of for one, the potential it can make money. Why? Because it's very exclusive to a particular style of a card. Two, it's very undervalued at the moment compared to other counterparts of it. So this card right here, and I'm gonna show it because I can't remember the name of the Pokemon because I wasn't in that generation. I only go to like from first, second, and some of the third generation Pokemon that I'm very aware of. But other than that, I really don't know the names of these cards. So this Pokemon card right here is a beautiful card. These two cards right here, I'm gonna put two on them on the screen for you to see. These are very beautiful cards that are very underpriced. Why? Because nobody's looking for these right now. Nobody's really talking about them. But if you take a look at the Japanese exclusive ones that supposedly come out in a stamp pack, those are very high. You look at the Van Gogh Pikachu, is very high. Look at different ones. Like look at the Magikarp that supposedly has the egg of Gyarados on the background. That's very high. And that's actually supposedly influenced by a painter. So why shouldn't these cards also be expensive at some point? They're exclusive to the particular aspect of painter cards in Pokemon. So think about it in that sense, you know, and maybe it never goes that high, right? It never goes. But there's so many different plays you can make within that type of understanding and that type of likeness of what you like, you know? So think about it in that way. So that would be the second tip. Collect and buy things that you generally like. The interests that you have, respect those interests, go based on those interests, and focus on those interests. Because if you do that, you'll be able, at the long term, the worst thing that it can happen is that it goes to zero, but yeah, you got something you like. So that's still a win in my case. Like in my point of view, that's still a win because you like it. You can still display it at home. You can still keep it for your own collection, and you pass it on as something that you really enjoy. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is this, before I share my collection, is do not overpay in newly released things. That comes in every CCG. If you cannot get it at retail price, if you cannot get it at newly released price, do not overpay. Do not overpay for any of that stuff, because that money can be put into something else. Personally, and this is what I do, and I think like if nobody's telling you this, I mean, it's crazy to me. But I learned this very quickly with Ascended Heroes. I think that the pre-release went from $200 to $300 a pre-release, the ETB, because I'm starting to collect ETB. The first ETB I personally bought was a Prismatic Evolutions ETB, and that was at the beginning of the year, and I paid $120 for it. Thankfully, it's gotten up from that point on to now. It's gotten up to about $40. So it's a 160 at a size 189, almost $200. So right now, let's say that's a win. It's cool. But the main thing I want you to focus on is, I wouldn't have gotten this ETB if I wouldn't have liked the Pokemon on the ETB. EV Evolutions, I grew up liking my favorite being Jolteon. It's something that I like. But yet, I'm pretty sure that people for the Ascended Heroes, they got caught up buying the ETB at pre-release at $300, $200, and that shit tanked literally 2 weeks after, all the way to 100 something, all the way to $90. At some point, you could have bought the ETB of Ascended Heroes for $90. I ended up buying it for $100, but now it's up to $130 again. So keep in mind that if people talking about car shops, people that are vendor shows, all these people are in the same community as you. One Piece new release boxes, Dragon Ball Z new release boxes, and this for you to keep in mind. If I would have kept the seal Dragon Ball Z box that I bought at the beginning of the year, which was the one with Broly, Goku, Black on the. I'm gonna just share it with you guys. I bought it for $80. No, I'm lying. I bought it for $110. I bought it for $110, and the reason I thought it wasn't so overpriced was because everything at that very moment, like the ETBs, I was comparing it to Pokemon, I was comparing it to One Piece. Everything that has to do with a booster box was pretty expensive. Like, we're talking about Pokemon being like almost $200 for anything that I wanted. One Piece over $200. We're talking about $300, $400. So I was like, okay, well, let me get the Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't seem so expensive. That same box right now is going for $169 to $200, depending where you're gonna get it from. So for you, when you're starting off something, if you're getting caught with this thing of FOMOing into things, fear of missing out, throw that shit away. Throw that thought away. Throw that thinking away. Why? Because those things, those boxes, more than likely will go down at least 2 to 3 weeks after. And you can buy them online, or you can buy them from someone selling them on eBay, as long as that reputation for that eBayer it's good. You know, they have good reputation, or also they have made a lot of transactions. Look into that, because another thing that you can get caught up on eBay is buying something from someone that just put it on an account. It has no reviews, no history, and you're gonna lose your money that way, or you're gonna have a horrible experience with eBay. So make your research. It goes back to just doing your research, like making sure that you know what the hell you're doing, and just not giving out your money to anyone or everyone, just like it doesn't matter. Don't do that. So for me, that's the last thing. Do not get caught up buying new release product if it's too expensive, if it is out of your budget. Wait for that cool down time and make your move right there and then. Just because, and also don't think that, what I've seen is that most newly released product does not just tank all the way down. I bought a perfect order ETB, Pokemon Center ETB. So that was my first Pokemon Center ETB, and it was perfect order. And you might ask, well, it's a sorry ass ETB box. It might be in your eyes right now. But what would happen if Pokemon decides to really not reprint this perfect order ETB? For one, Pokemon Center ETBs are premium, quote unquote premium, and I was able to get it for $130. And they did, like, Pokemon decides not to reprint it because it wasn't a good. People wasn't buying it when it came out. Down the like, we're talking about 5 to 10 years down the road. Don't you think it's gonna be more difficult to find these ETBs just because they did not reprint them and just because people ended up opening them eventually? Like, so to me, you have to like really look into certain things and look at certain patterns and see and try to make your plays that way, man. Like, think about what you're doing. Don't just give out your money to anyone, or just don't do things based on hype, based on social media. Do your research and make your plays, man. Like, am I saying I'm gonna be right? Hell no, I'm not saying that. I'm just starting to learn the process of how these things are working. So for me, those are the three. Those are just the three top things that I've learned within the last 3 to 4 months as a newcomer into the TCG space. And I hope to be here, and this is my hope, this is my intention. From this point on, I'm telling you, I've only been here 4 months. I'm trying to do it for 10 years. I'm not trying to do it for a year, 2 years. This whole year has just been about me collecting stuff and releasing some things that I don't care for. You know, that I was able to buy within the collection, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but I don't really care for it. Let me get something I really like. So that's what I'm doing. So with this Tokyo trip, which is gonna be the biggest probably purchase I have, besides some of the collections I already purchased, it's gonna be the biggest purchase and the biggest thing for me for this hobby. I'm so excited about it. I'm so happy about it. Like I said, I'm only gonna spend $1,100, $1,200 the most max, but I'm looking forward to seeing what I can find out there. Some of the cards that I have never seen. I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's gonna be amazing for me. It's gonna be an amazing experience. And after I do that, then we're gonna go into the next step, which is probably grading some of these things and sharing that process with you guys. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked today's video. So if you sticked around 23 minutes and counting, I'm gonna go ahead and share the collection at this very moment to make it maybe within the next 10 minutes. I'll make it another 10-minute run so you guys can actually see 5 to 10-minute run so you guys can see some of the things I've been collecting within the last couple of months. If you like some of these things, maybe reach out, maybe subscribe, because a lot of these content is made for you guys to also share the process of you getting into the hobby. And we're going, man. We're getting there, guys. I feel more confident. We're getting there, guys. I feel more confident with these videos. I feel more confident about the space itself. And I think that, yeah, I'm excited to share the process, man. I'm excited to share where I started from. And I'm literally going to tell you guys, my first purchase ever this year that was a singles card was this Dido right here. And I'm going to share it with you. This Dido itself, raw, was probably like, maybe, I don't know how much it was raw because I didn't care for it, but it's very cheap. Now the card raw is like $35. I just like the art on it. I like the texture in the card. And I got a PSA 9 because 9 is my favorite number. So yeah, guys, simple things like this is just crazy to think where I started with a Dido. Now I buy several One Piece, some Yu-Gi-Oh, several Pokemon card graded cards that I like. So yeah, guys, I can't wait for this collection to grow and for me to be able to share where we're gonna be at mid-year during the summer. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the collection. Okay, so we made it to the part of the video where I get to share with you guys my collection. So this is gonna be a bit of me showing just what I have. This small binder right here has to do with Dragon Ball Z, nothing crazy. It was a small collection that I had. Some of the better cards have already been sold, but this is something that I particularly will eventually kind of get rid of. I've listed some of these cards already online. So I will be getting rid of this. This card itself, it seems like I can't find what card this is, just because there's no name to it. But it's an exclusive card that I will eventually find online and see how much it's going for. But this is a collection that I ended up buying for $20. The person that wanted to get rid of it didn't want it and just wanted the money. And honestly, guys, for what's in here, this itself is probably about $12 to $15. Some of these cards, this one I just sold for $25 today. Literally today, I sold it. I have to ship it off. Some of these cards are valued at more. So these are cards that I pulled these cards. So this is one of my favorite cards, honestly. The Fusion World series of Dragon Ball Z. If you're not aware of it, this is how some of the common cards look, but just the art itself, it's very unique. It makes them look cool. So these are some of the cards within this binder. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is the collection for some of the Dragon Ball Z stuff that I personally have in this small binder. It's not much. This is just personal cards that I like and I've been putting on here. Some of these cards has already been put in collector. Some of them has not. This is some of the One Piece that I have, and I put it on here with One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, this personal Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I like, some personal One Piece stuff that I like, and some Pokemon stuff that I'm also collecting and keeping as a PC type of deal. So I will go ahead and share this. So obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh for me, my top two Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Red Eyes Black Dragon, just because I like dragons in general. Blue Eyes Toon Dragon is my favorite version of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Definitely Pegasus. That saga was amazing. Just the whole backstory and just the entire Toon world type monsters. If you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, this is kind of like the first the deck that was used by the first main villain of the entire series. So definitely really cool. Out of the three God cards, obviously the Tormentor is my favorite. Second favorite would be Slide for the Sky Dragon. Third one would be Wind Dragon of Ra. So this is the actual one that I was referring to on one of the video earlier, that I'm trying to get the full Japanese style collection of this Jump edition card. It's just beautiful art, and if you take a look, there's a series of monsters that have been drawn in our Jump. So I'm looking forward to finding all of these when I go to Japan. Nothing crazy. So some of these cards I will eventually go ahead and send them to either PSA or tag, and definitely trying to see which cards I'm gonna go ahead and send. Some of these are already ready to be sent out. I looked at them thinking that they at least can get a 9. That's the goal with these. This Dark Magician Girl with the entire set of the Magician Girls, they're pretty clean. I honestly think they can be anywhere from a 9 to a 10. This is gonna be the first time I was sending out to get it graded, to be honest, but this is one of my favorite things, and I'm looking forward to seeing how these are gonna grade, because I will send out the entire set. Dark Magician Girl, Lemon Magician Girl, Chocolate, Berry, Apple, and I think there's another one as well that I think I already sold, so I have to get it. Oh, Kiwi, I believe, is the one that I'm missing. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that one. Also, the Malefic version of the cards. This is something that I'm definitely enjoy, the Malefic version of certain cards. There's a Malefic Red Eyes, a Malefic Blue Eyes that I definitely will go ahead and send out to get graded. This is a Malefic Rainbow Dragon. I just like the style of this card. Is beautiful. If you just look at it, it's just an amazing card. So yeah, that's part of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that, like I stated, here's some of my Red Eye stuff, nothing crazy, just things that I personally like. More Blue Eyes Dragon stuff, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Dragon of Master Knight. Anything Blue Eyes, I personally love it and like it. So this is just PC stuff that eventually I will send out to get graded. So honestly, guys, if you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, I personally like this version of cards, the Dorado cards, El Dorado, just the gold version of it. The borders, the outline of the actual monster itself is just beautiful to me. Just the look of it is an amazing card. The Black Rose Dragon is definitely one of those cards that the dragon and the illustration itself is just really, really nice to look at and pleasant to look at. So it's definitely one of my PCs. For this stuff, I really don't care for the value, but I do like just the look and illustration of it. It's just a beautiful card to look at. So I'm gonna enter to some of the things that I will eventually get rid of, besides maybe 1 or 2 cards. But these cards, I've actually bought it out from a collector that also wanted to get rid of his collection, so I cashed them out. So these are things, some of these things I purchased myself, like these 2 solo cards. I purchased this myself, just for PC stuff. I like the illustration with the solo. This stuff comes on when you buy the Learn Together pack. So I bought this, but everything else I bought it off of the collector itself. So we have a Rob Lucci SP. This, honestly, guys, is one of my favorite cards, just in general. If you take a look, this Sora Juru, and a beautiful, amazing card. I'm pretty sure I can send this off and get a good grade on it. Anywhere from I would say 9 to a 10. I think that would be the goal. But I think that this can easily be a 10, just by looking at it. And it's just a beautiful card. Just the colors with it kind of reminds me of Mardi Gras, because it does have those colors, but the fact that it is purple is beautiful. This is another Sora card that I generally like. It just looks, obviously has the number 9, but eventually, like I stated, this would be the only card that I'm keeping, like, for a very long time. Eventually I will send it out to get it graded. So this is like a PC card that I will keep for a long time. The rest I will eventually try to get rid of them. This Shanks card, like, out of One Piece, Shanks is my favorite character, and I'll share my favorite Shanks card, but some of these are very, I guess, expensive. If you look them up, you'll see how much they're going for. So honestly, I think that if I keep them, they will continue to go up in value, but we'll see. I don't need the money at the moment, and like I stated, this year was just a year for me to build a collection. This is a beautiful SP card as well, Shanks SP. And if you take a look, man, you don't have to necessarily be a One Piece fan or anything like that, but if you're an artist or you enjoy art, the intricacy and the detail on these cards is par none. Is top notch. I mean, better than Pokemon, honestly, to a point better than Yu-Gi-Oh, and definitely up there with Dragon Ball Z. One Piece, I believe, has the best art in itself. If just these SP cards, the amount of detail, as an artist, I can tell you it takes a long time for these patterns to be created and for them to look so detailed in a card, which is very small compared to a regular size art piece. Yeah, it's amazing how they make them look so detailed. So definitely something that I will keep growing, the One Piece collection. Obviously, you have to have some Luffy. Out of these Luffy cards, the Gear 5 Luffy is definitely my favorite. This is not an expensive card, but I definitely like the style of it. But this one, out of the entire Luffy cards that I have, this one is my favorite, just because obviously it's a Gear 5. This Nami card is my favorite Nami card. And obviously this one and the SP. So the SP is kind of in my bucket list to get eventually. But this beautiful card with her and Suze is very underrated, I feel like. If you take a look at the detail, there's like a pattern of clouds in that foil. Definitely really good to look at and pleasantly to look at. And this is not like the thing they say about One Piece, that all the characters within One Piece, all the girls, they try to just expose their boobs or their cleavage, and I think that this is very much on the artistic side of it, and I actually like it. It's very old school Japanese kind of style of art that I generally like. So this is really cool. I feel like underrated. Well, I mean, I don't say underrated. Properly priced. Nami card at the moment, I think it's going for around $50. I bought it for $40, so it's not a bad card, and definitely enjoy looking at it every time I do. So these are some other cards, One Piece stuff. Like I stated, I don't have a big collection of One Piece, but some of these cards do go for a lot. So this is where I think maybe I might have some more One Piece on here, but not really. I think this is for the ones that I am eventually going to try to get rid of. These are some of these that probably will send out to get graded. Trifoligal, I have a lot of these of his cards. I don't like this character, but they just came with the collection that I purchased. So some of these cards are also reasonably priced. The Drokyo Mihawk looks pretty cool. I don't know what it's going for right now, but I'm pretty sure it's at least maybe a $20 to $50 card, maybe more. I haven't really looked into the price of this card, but I think it's a cool card. So these are some of my PC stuff, and I think that, like I say, PC is not much about the price. It's more so about what you like. This is a light Jolteon. This is one of the cards that survived through time. I had this back in the early thousands when I was a kid, and definitely was able to keep it in the collection. It was in the attic, my mom's house. I was able to get this, so this is from my childhood. This is some newer stuff that really don't have much value to it, other than the fact that it's a Jolteon. I'm a big Jolteon fan. Dark Espion. So this was a card that I had from my childhood as well. And if you can see, there's a beautiful scroll right here. Obviously it's messed up because it is a childhood card. But this is something that I could sell. I'm pretty sure I can at least get anywhere from $50 to $100 raw. But I'm not gonna sell it, man. I'm gonna keep it just to keep a reminder of the childhood that I had growing up, and the passion or the beautiful feeling I had every time I collected cards when I was a kid. So definitely keeping this in the personal collection. And obviously before I even got back into it, I didn't know nothing about swirls. So now I'm very aware of swirls and all of that, and trying to collect any chance I get to collect a swirl, I will go ahead and try to get it. So these things, this one right here is also PC. This is going straight to the console binder I'm building. I just haven't done the episode for it. So the Zapdos I purchased for $22 or $20, I believe. This I purchased for $22. This beautiful Jolteon from Jungle. This I just got it from Ascended Heroes not too long ago. These two, a friend gave them to me. This one I purchased not too long ago. This Kingdra. So Kingdra, I like Kingdra a lot. I just like the design of it. It's a seahorse. In my point of view, it's a seahorse. But some people think it's a dragon. But I just like the cards that they have. My personal take on this was get 3 raw cards. Just have them personally, just collect them. Get 2 graded cards, 1 PSA 9, 1 PSA 10. And just have these 3 raw for myself. So that's the goal with this Kingdra, this design. The other one that I'm looking for and that I will eventually get is PSA graded Kingdra, from back in the day, the one he's kind of blowing bubbles in the water. I'm gonna get the Japanese version, 3 of them. So I'm gonna try to also get 3 raw good near mint, and I'm gonna get a PSA 10 graded card just because I like the card a lot. This card right here, like I stated in one of my older videos, personally coming back into the hobby and realizing on certain cards and finding out of certain cards. I'm I'm a fan of Takashi Murakami and anything that has to do with Japanese old school stuff. Takashi Murakami is more so of let's say he mixes American cartoons with his traditional Japanese style art. But for me, I have a good eye when it comes to this. If you add color to it, if you add certain designs, it just looks very beautiful. It's a beautiful card, very undervalued. I personally believe it's very undervalued, and more so because of the Pokemon. I mean, I think that he's supposed to be one of the bigger Pokemons in one of the generations. I'm not sure, but I've heard that. So for him to actually have a card like this under 20 bucks, I think is a steal. And this is another card that I will eventually want to get more raw cards, and eventually get some greater stuff of him too. Like this particular card, I can easily go and look for it and find PSA 9 and PSA 10 cards that are pretty price in a good reasonable price. I don't think that they're overvalued, but again, it's not a focus at this moment. That's why I have not gotten the graded cards. So here's some other stuff that is going into the binder. This Scyther is gonna go to my Kanto binder. I only got it for $4, not bad. This Paldean Tours is gonna go into it. And this is some other stuff that I'm gonna keep in my personal collection. Eventually probably send it off to get it graded. Here's more personal stuff. So this Dragon Ball Z Energy Maker is going for about anywhere from $75 to $100 at this moment. This one I just purchased this week because I definitely like this design of Broly. It just looks amazing. It wasn't too expensive, so I think that it's also sealed, so I think it's a steal, to be honest. This buggy card, I think I only have this buggy card, but it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite ones, and I think eventually, eventually, like I said, some of these cards will get sent out to get graded, which I think that there's a potential of a PSA 9 to PSA 10 with this. Some additional cards. Some of these cards, like I said, some of these cards I haven't listed them, even though I'm trying to get rid of. But I haven't listed them because like I stated, this is just like you see, and like I stated, because it's like a self-reminder to myself that I'm trying to build a collection to eventually start really focusing on selling and letting go of some of this stuff to get a new inventory. So this year, like with the stroll stuff, like I shared with you guys, this is a beautiful stroll. I'm becoming very a fan of finding cards that I can find strolls on. So this Kingdra has a beautiful stroll, and that's one of just some of the cards that I found this year. I only paid like $12 for this, so I think it was a steal. This was one of the other cards that I purchased maybe when I just started collecting again, and I purchased this from a friend. He sold this for $30, so I think that is properly priced. But it's one of those cards that a lot of people don't like rainbow stuff, but the fact that it's the three birds, I think that this card can be and can have a potential of being $100 one day, or even more. You never know. But this tag team stuff, it seems like it blew off out of nowhere, and I think that this rainbow stuff looks badass, and I think it has a high potential. But honestly, I wouldn't have purchased it if I didn't like the card itself. Maybe I send it out to tag or PSA one day. And so these two cards, bought them for $1 each. This is my personal take, and I've never heard this, but I think that these two cards are very undervalued for $1. Why? Because they're RPs. You connect them, they're one card. So to me, I'm trying to get the PSA 10 both in Japanese and English. I currently have a PSA 9 Luigia in a 9, but eventually I will focus on trying to get those 10s in, because I think that these cards they're very undervalued. $1 for each, when this is the only design I believe that they have, and it's like a card that connects. I think that in itself is a cool concept, and I've seen how other cards that connect also like are valued through time. So just the cards themselves, the legendary Pokemon, from the beginning of everything, I remember seeing these cards, and when I got back into it and seeing these designs and seeing that it's only $1 each, it was a no-brainer for me. I'm gonna go anytime that I go into someone's binder and I see them, I try to get these. Okay, so I believe this is the last page. So this, another thing from the childhood, Beedrill, Koga's Beedrill. Definitely a beautiful card. It's just the fact that it's all damaged, but I'll keep this for a long time because it reminds me of my childhood. These book cards, I have 3 of them, and I think they're under $10 I believe so, but just in their promos, but just the look of this card alone is beautiful. So I think once the other art, which is almost the same thing as this, I think it just has a star on top of the SR. Once those go to over $100, I think that these are gonna follow and probably go up to a $20 to $30 card. It's just a matter of time. But this is a badass illustration. As a black and white artist, this is what you look for. Anyone that likes manga or anyone that likes black and white comic books, this is a beautiful look of a card. And these are things that can be appreciated by people that actually are into comic books and things like this. So for me, this is a no-brainer. And I don't think they have an English version of this, so this is just exclusive to Japanese. So that's that. Let me see if I can share something else. So that was just part of that. So let me share the greatest stuff so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we've been collecting this year. So I haven't collected a lot. I would say maybe it's a lot if you're coming from zero like myself, but these are things that I'm collecting and things that some are going to be sold eventually. These things right here are actually sports cards for like Cristiano Ronaldo, mainly Cristiano Ronaldo and some basketball stuff, but all Cristiano Ronaldo for the most part. You can see maybe some basketball in there, but it's mainly Cristiano Ronaldo. I definitely am a Cristiano Ronaldo guy, and Ronaldinho guy, and Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. So these are the things that I'm collecting. As you can see, this Giovanni's Persian. Main reason I got this card was because of the big swirl right here. And I definitely believe that this is a card that is going to go up in price with time. So I'm definitely holding this. At least within a year, I know that I can double my money from initially what I got this card for. I ended up getting this Persian as well, just because I do feel that this card in itself in Japanese is very undervalued. It's vintage, but I think that Persian itself, being the evolution of one of the original kind of Pokemon that everybody like can relate to in the manga, and being the not the manga but the anime, and also being the first talking Pokemon and all of that, and being Giovanni's, which is the head honcho for Team Rocket. I think this is a very undervalued card. The English version of these cards are definitely going crazy. I like one of the PSA 10 Persian sold like for $10,000, and definitely I think that these cards are very undervalued at the moment. Kabutops from 2000. So most of these things that you're going to look at are going to be very much vintage stuff, because I believe that you collect what you enjoy and what you like. I remember Kabutops. The first time I ever saw these Kabutops card was in school. A friend had it. I looked at it, and I had the old school Kabutops, the one from the original base set, holographic, but he had this one. To me, when I saw this one and the fact that it wasn't a blue card, that was amazing. It was a badass Kabutop. So when I realized that the price of it, which was under $100, I was like, this is an easy pickup for me. I want it for the PC. Eventually, if someone comes and gives me the price I'm asking for it, I will let it go. Jiren from Dragon Ball Z, PSA 10 promo card. This card it's on its own is not a lot, but the main reason I got this is because I wanted to get into Dragon Ball Z and getting some graded cards. So anything that had a PSA 10, and after doing my research, this was this was one of the earliest cards that I purchased. So I didn't spend anything more than $50 on this, I think. But I believe that PSA 10, again, you can't go wrong with that. The card itself is probably not value a lot on being raw, but it's Jiren, one of my personal favorite characters outside of the group of Vegeta, Goku, Trunks, Gohan. This is Piccolo, the original stuff. This is one of my favorite characters or newer characters that has been introduced into the manga and anime. Dito. This was actually my first graded PSA card that I ended up buying, and I bought it because, for one, I liked the art on it, and two, it had a 9. 3, it was Dito. Dito, I feel like, is very undervalued in general. It's funny that within the last 2 months, all his cards have been going up, and it's starting to be a thing. So now, like, his cars are I feel like they're going up, and people are realizing how undervalued they were. But this card, I bought it for $30, PSA 9 graded. The raw card itself is like $50 almost. So I think $34 to $40. But this card, I'm gonna hold it for a while. Maybe I'll let it go next year. But I think that I saw some listings already trying to sell it for $100 online. So we'll see, man. I think that this has a really good potential. When I bought it, I definitely believed that and saw that these shiny cards are very undervalued, and I like the aspect that you can see the entire Pokemon in a very small space, but you can see the entire picture of the Pokemon. And Dito, when it comes to Charmander, Pikachu, and Raichu, those cards are perfectly placed in the middle, and it just looks amazing. And it's a good way to display the Pokemon. This is coming from an artist's point of view. The texture is amazing. So these are very undervalued cards, and like I say, this is coming from someone that just came into the hobby and just looking at things that I personally like, and looking at things that have a cool art perspective or point of view. I'm looking at things that stand out in that way for me and to me, and that's what I'm purchasing. This also purchased at the end of last year. So this Ghost Rider rookie, and like $20, nothing crazy, but this is a PC thing because I love Ghost Rider. I like Spawn. I like Phoenix from X-Men. So these are some of my favorite characters. So I just decided to purchase this one. Here is my top One Piece card ever. Based on what I found out so far, which is a lot, I think that One Piece, I didn't grow up watching One Piece. My brother has watched every single thing that has to do with One Piece. He's in episode 1000 plus. I'm barely like in episode 30 of the anime. But this card in itself, when I saw the price, when I saw the fact that it's like a $20 card, but if you look at this card, it's a very dark card. He looks like he's in a cave. There's some power steam coming off of him. There was no question that I wanted to get this card graded. I felt that at a $60 label, $60 just to get this card, it was an easy steal for me, and I'm personally gonna keep this for a long time. I don't think I will ever sell this one just because I like it that much, because it is my favorite card. Unless it goes to a crazy amount of money that I'm like, there's no way I can just keep this in my collection. But this card, PSA 10, definitely one of my personal favorites, and I'm very proud of being able to get this for under $100, because I generally think that this card, it's easily $150 just by, it's gonna get to at least PSA 10, at least $150 to $200 in the near future, maybe $300, but $150 for sure. I think that this card can be get to those levels just because it looks like an amazing card, man. Like I say, if you look at it, it has beautiful texture, it has a beautiful design, and obviously shanks. Some people like shanks, some people don't. But to me, just the design alone is a winner. You can't go wrong with Charizard, and Charizard being a newcomer into just the hobby itself with Pokemon. Charizard is one of my top chases. Obviously, is everyone's top chases, but I want certain Pokemon cards with Charizard on them. This one was one of them. I'm looking at the Paladin. I'm looking at two different ones too that I will add into my collection eventually. Those are kind of pricey, so I'm trying to wait, because I do feel that those cards eventually are gonna go down in price, just because there's so much of it. But I will get them eventually and put them in my personal collection. But this is another one that I definitely bought for under $100 at this moment. I don't know how much it's going for, but under $100 is pretty priceless to me. It's a promo. Is a Charizard. Is a, I guess, evolution of Charizard, but just the art itself, the flame wings, amazing. Like I stated earlier, nothing special, but this Lugia under $50. I ended up getting a PSA 9. I'm trying to get the PSA 9 Oho in English. I will get the 10s in Japanese because I just like the design better. So Lugia, Rocket Zapdos. Will get the original Zapdos, because Zapdos is one of my top 5 Pokemon. But this is this to me was a no-brainer. I've been trying to get a Zapdos card, so this is the first one that I've got it graded. And if you take a look at this holographic texture on it, it looks really cool compared to the old school one. So I like this one a lot, and yeah, eventually I will probably try to upgrade this card to something else, but we'll see what happens. Here is a beautiful Seadrill card. Not many in population. That was a no-brainer for me to get. Why? Because anything with this logo, which I'm assuming is Aquapolis or whatever it is, trust me, I'm just starting to get into this and learning the terminology and the collections and the sets. This card, 22 population, under $70, no question. I was looking for a Seadrill card because it's a Kanto Pokemon, is an original Pokemon. When I saw this card, it was no question that I needed to get this card. PSA 9, 22 in population circulation, definitely something that I will probably keep for a while. I'm not going to get rid of this for maybe another year or two, see where we at in the market, but this is something I will keep close to me for a while. Kingdra. So like I stated earlier, like I showed with you guys, this card itself is a top favorite card of mine, and honestly, for the price that it's going for right now, it's not expensive. If you're a Kingdra fan and you don't have this card, what are we doing? Get in it, get on top of it, try to get you some Kingdra cards like that. This Kingdra card is just beautiful to me. The art is amazing, so definitely undervalued card. So yeah, this is a Ditto card. So one of the things that I enjoyed, and I actually was trying to get the entire set, but I didn't act on it as quick as I didn't act on it, and I think that's what messed me up.
I ended up getting an 8. I didn't even notice it was an 8. I thought I was getting a 9. So this is the only 8 that I have in my personal collection. I'm trying to get rid of this card. I will get rid of it. Maybe even if I just get my money back, because it's just not for me. Not the fact that the Pokemon is not for me, the fact that it is an 8. But my intention was, and I bought this card like 2 months ago, was to get the Dido cards with this. So getting all of them PSA 9. There was someone on on eBay that actually had the 3 cards together. PSA, I believe 10, and they were going for $100 the entire set, and they were back-to-back certs. So there were, I guess, I don't know. There's a certain terminology for it, but there were those type of certs, and I thought it was too pricey just because they were regular cards. I made a big mistake. I should have just gotten them, and I would probably been able to be up in that play. But these cards, I feel like they're very underpriced, because if you get them in real life, like if you get them raw, you can peel the sticker on top, and you'll reveal a Dido under the card. So that concept on itself to me, that's a really cool concept. So I still will go ahead and try to get at least the PSA 9s of each of this. I think it's Spinnerack. There's 2 other ones that I don't know the names on the top of my head because they're newer Pokemon. But that concept of just being able to peel the card and actually reveal Dido under it is cool. So definitely we'll try to get rid of this as soon as possible. So this, like I shared with you guys, El Dorado. I need one more. I wanted to get 3 PSA 9 Blue Eyes White Dragons. This design, pictures do not make it justice. Video, I don't think make it justice, but the detail of this design is amazing. How thin the gold around the blue eyes is. I like that touch within this style cards. That's why I ended up getting these. Need one more. I'll probably get a PSA 10 English version of this, but these 2 will do for now. This was my first change of heart. Well, not my first Yu-Gi-Oh graded card that I purchased this year. It's an anniversary or quarter of the century card. Change of heart. If you grew up watching Yu-Gi-Oh when you saw this card being used by Deborah, I believe, it's just a cool effect. You can change one player's monster to your side for 1 turn. I believe that. I think that's how it goes, or for the entire duel. I don't remember it because I haven't played in years. But this art is just unique, man. Like seeing the dark side of the demon, seeing the light side of the angel. This is the type of stuff that I like, and definitely that's why I ended up getting it. That's the only PSA 9 that I saw online at the moment. That's why I ended up buying it. So these cards are actually my favorite cards because I'm building my collection of the evolutions from back in the day. And this is the Team Rocket version. These cards, I've been at least buying one of these each month. Obviously, I'm missing the Umbreon from the, I guess it's also a promo, I don't know, or a premium file or something like that connects to this one, to this Espeon. So I initially started buying Jolteon. Obviously, I bought Jolteon, then I bought Vaporeon, then I bought Espeon, and then eventually I bought Dark Flareon. When I started buying the Jolteon, I didn't think nothing of it other than the fact that I was going to collect these. But right now in April, it's very difficult to find these cards for a reasonable price because they're low in population, and it does seem like most people have them in their own personal collection, or they just don't want to let them go. You're not going to get this for the $30 that was basically in January. Right now, you get lucky if you can get it from $90 to $100. Some people are trying to get more for it. SPN, cost me 80. These two have cost me 50 bucks each, not bad. But this I could have gotten at the beginning of the year for about $30. I decided to wait, and now I actually have to pay 3 times more for it. The next move is going to either get Umbreon, or is going to try to get the Dark Eevee, which is also going for over $100 when it was going for $30 at the beginning of the year. So yeah, guys, this is another thing that I think is very undervalued. This Celebi, the Raikou, the Rayquaza, or Rayquaza, however you pronounce it, and the Ronchon, I believe. These cards are beautiful to look at and definitely very cheap. So if you are trying to find graded cards that are reasonably priced, get you some of these cards. Vivid Voltage, definitely something that a lot of people are not talking about, but if you look at it, it's just a beautiful card. So besides that, kind of will share with you guys obviously the ETBs. We have Prismatic Evolutions, we have Ascended Heroes, and lastly we have the Perfect Order Pokemon Center one. To be fair, guys, Perfect Order, I know a lot of people are saying don't buy it, or it's very, nobody wants it. But like I stated, man, if nobody wants it right now, doesn't mean that nobody will want it in the future. And if it's reasonably priced, which I believe it is, $130 for a Elite Trainer box or a ETB that has to do with the Pokemon Center stamp on it, which if you take a look, a lot of Pokemon
So that's that, guys. If you made it to this part of the video and you made it to the end of it, I appreciate you sticking with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you can actually take some of the things that I shared with you guys into practice and do it for yourself. I will be updating this collection soon. Not soon right now, but I'm talking about soon in the future, maybe 3 to 4 months from now, to see where we're at. But definitely something to look out for if you're trying to keep up with it. And if you're also trying to keep up with your collection, there's certain things that I will be releasing eventually of how I'm thinking about certain things, like certain plays that I'm thinking about making as well. Maybe it can help you think about how you can actually collect as well, so you don't have to just chase those grails or try to put a lot of money into one thing on its own. It's a beautiful thing to be able to have a lot of things to look at, and there's so many ways that you can collect in these hobbies. So it's all comes down to what you can afford, what you enjoy, and what at the end of the day will make you happy within the hobby. I think that hobbies are meant to do that. It's not meant to just be about money. So do not get caught up in that little trick or in that mindset, you know. The moment you don't like it, I would say get away from it, stop doing it. The moment you don't like it, because if not, you're going to be doing things for the wrong purpose or with the wrong intentions, and most people lose when those things happen to be that way. So I hope you have an amazing day. If you did, leave a comment down there, leave me a like, and subscribe to the channel. This is it for today. Take care. Peace.